Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I'm back with another F1 2016 Career Mode series. We go to Belgium for round number 13 of this Force India Championship season, and we have an R&D event.
This is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
So there you can see that we are keeping up with Williams in the vehicle performance, and McLaren are falling behind, which is bad to see for them. So after qualifying, here are the resource points I have. I do plan to do an upgrade to this episode. I'm not sure what, I'll see when we go to the upgrade menu. So let's go to the upgrade menu now and see, can I afford one? Yes, I can afford the monkey seat, which I'm going to do. And then in qualifying, I chose to go out on the super soft compound tyres, so away we go on the super soft for the start of qualifying. And I get a decent line through turn 1, and coming through the final sector now, you can see I'm down in P3, so not keeping up with P1, but a lot better in qualifying than last time in Hockenheim. And I have overtaken Rosberg now through the final couple of corners here at the bus stops. It's going to be a sprint to the line. What happened? Who was it? I get P2. That's still much better than last time. Let's hope it's just as good in the race. And you can see the resource points I have here, so some good resource points there for some upgrades in the future. And the rivalry update, let's see, I believe I'll be ahead of Vettel, since I finished ahead of him in qualifying. Driver position +1 for both. Yes, it is, thank you. And let's go to the start of this race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, and a Force India alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas and Verstappen.
So I'm going to go for a one-stop strategy, going from the super soft qualifying tyre I used to the softs. Going to put a little bit of extra fuel on for the long straights at Spa, and here we go to the start of the race. We have 5 red lights, and it's go, go, go for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix as I imitate Murray Walker there at the start. But we're going to be braking later than Rosberg, hopefully, for the first corner. Can't quite make a move on him into the first corner, which is going to be bad down the hill. It's going to allow him to get more of a better drive on us, and I'm going to go to the outside here, which will be the inside for the corner, and we go side by side through the starts of Eau Rouge, and I'm able to get ahead of Rosberg there as I get on the dirt a little bit, and Julian Palmer is out of the race. So let's see his start. They go 3 abreast up through Eau Rouge, and he ends up in the barrier sideways there. That looks like a bad crash for Julian Palmer, and it means the virtual safety car is out and going to be under the virtual safety car conditions for some of this race, it seems. But at the end of the hill, or towards the end of the first lap, virtual safety car is ending, so I put it back up to standard, and now we return to racing speed. So hopefully I'll be able to keep ahead of Hamilton and Rosberg, the 2 Mercedes, which will obviously be faster here. And it looks like there's been a crash behind us. Yellow flags. Is it going to be another safety car or virtual safety car? It doesn't seem like it quite yet as I go wide, but it looks like the 2 Mercedes have compromised each other. It looks like Ricciardo and Bottas have come through now up into the podium position, so this is going to be an interesting race. Ricciardo is right behind me out of the bus stop chicane there. I need to get a move and get ahead of him. I've set the fastest lap, obviously, being the first person to cross the line, but I'm going to try and use my Mercedes engine to the advantage here over Ricciardo's run, and just try and use that to keep ahead of him on the straight. Going to go up into Rich Mix, fly down the hill here. Looks like I am extending the gap slightly. Going to go through Eau Rouge at top speed there, keeping a good racing line through Eau Rouge. Yes, I am, and on to the Kemmel straight now into the DRS. So no DRS until lap 3 though, so that's not going to help Ricciardo. It looks like I have extended my gap to Ricciardo on this lap, and I've set a purple sector time. And now we go down the hill section towards Eau Rouge. You can see Bottas and Perez have both overtaken Ricciardo in the top left timing box there. So as we go up through Eau Rouge, let's see if Perez can get slipstream on Bottas on the replay camera. Yes, he can. He gets up into P2, so it's a 1-2 now in this race for Force India here. Really good stuff for Force India after Mercedes crash out. It looks like the Mercedes power unit is really helping us around this power circuit, and it has allowed us to get a 1-2. So is my teammate going to be able to catch up to me through this lap, and well, just over the race in general, because I'm going to have to be keeping ahead of him now that he's behind me, and so is Bottas, both with Mercedes engines. And now coming into the bus stop chicane on the end of lap 3, the same lap that Perez performed his overtake on Bottas on the Kemmel straight, and he is going to take the lead as I go into the pits. Perez takes the lead, followed by Bottas. Ricciardo is following me into the pits, so it looks like it's going to be a race between us in the pit stops. And I'm going into my box now. Ricciardo is going into his box, I presume, behind. And am I going to get out ahead of him? Yes, I am. I'm out ahead of Ricciardo. It looks like I might have gained a little bit of time on him. I'm not sure, though, what the gap was before, to be honest. We come out in the top 10. Yeah, we come out P10, just behind Gutierrez. Hamilton has just set a fastest lap of the race. So hopefully that won't hinder me and my performance later on in the race, because I am hoping, after my performance earlier on in the race, for a podium possibly. But we're going to get DRS on Gutierrez up the Kemmel straight now to the top of the hill. And can I make an overtake into the braking zone now? Going to try and brake as late as I can, but it doesn't look like I can quite get the move on him, and I'm going to have to settle for P10 for now. And I've lost time, and I'm still losing time out of that corner there in Rich Mix. Not very good through some of these slow speed corners in Rich Mix. It's quite difficult to use Rich Mix through the slow speed corners, but I'm also going to use it because I've got so much excess fuel on board that I can just burn it, for example, and get some more speed on the straights, which Spa has a lot of. So as we go through this fast left-hand double apex corner, can I get the move on Gutierrez, or some slipstream at least to get the move on him in the next corner? So I'm going to go flying past him now into the corner, the right-hander chicane, and I'm ahead up into P9 in this race. Now at the end of lap 4, a lap after I came into the pits, it looks like lots of cars are going into the pits, so I'm going to make up plenty of positions. It also looks like my teammate has gone into the pits, so hopefully he won't lose too many positions from where he was in the lead, basically. I think he was net P2 at the start before the pit stop, so let's see how he has done through the pit stop window. And it looks like he has lost a bit of time to Gutierrez, although I'm not sure Gutierrez has made a stop, being on the super soft tyres still. So I don't know, it's going to have to be a while before I actually find out if my teammate has been compromised or if he has gone through, because Bottas was close to him, so Bottas could have overtaken possibly on the Kemmel straight with DRS, just the same way Perez did the lap before I went into the pits, so anything could have happened. At the end of lap 5, it looks like Sainz has come into the pits as I go wide through the exit of the bus stop chicane. Then it looks like Button has also come into the pits, so that's going to be the lead of the race for me, and hopefully we'll learn what sort of position my teammate is in, if he's still in the top 3. Just got to get Ricciardo's P2 and Bottas P3, so my teammate has lost out in the pit window. Ricciardo and I have performed the undercut basically on everyone else behind us, because Bottas is also behind Ricciardo, and he was ahead of Ricciardo before the pit stops. So I go very wide through Eau Rouge there, nearly replicate what Palmer did, but luckily I was able to control my car and not go too wide, because I wasn't running 3 abreast through Eau Rouge up there, and I'm back in the lead, which is good. But sadly it looks like my teammate has lost out to both Ricciardo and Bottas in this race, in the pit stop phase of the race. I skipped to lap 9 now, so 3 laps forward, and you can see Ricciardo is gaining on me and Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. So let's see what happened to him as he comes down, and yeah, there you go, engine blowout for the Ferrari driver Sebastian Vettel. So not good for him in the race, and it looks like Red Bull are going to get ahead of him in the points. And it also helps me in my rivalry against Sebastian Vettel. Looks like I'm going to be ahead of him still in the rivalry, which is good for me because last time I lost the rivalry against him. So it looks like this time I'm going to be ahead of him for at least this first part of the rivalry, and hopefully I'll be continuing to outperform him in my Force India. Again now we cut exactly 1 lap ahead because Ricciardo really has gained on me. It looks like he is, well, the proximity arrows are showing now up through Blanchemont, and he's going to try and get some slipstream on me as I have to cut to the grass, and he goes up my inside on the run up to Blanchemont. Can I go up his inside through Blanchemont? No, I can't. I'm going to have to get in the slipstream right behind him now. Going to have to outbrake him into the bus stop chicane just before the start of the final lap. This is really exciting. You can hear the crowd going wild. I'm having to defend my position now, which is a position I didn't think I'd have to be in to Ricciardo. I thought it would be Bottas or Perez who were coming at me towards the later stages of the race with the Mercedes power unit, but it looks like the Red Bull still has some performance over them with its chassis, and probably very much superior chassis to most of the Mercedes engined cars. because of the Red Bull chassis, the Renault is able to keep up with me up through Rouge. You can see he is gaining, and he's going to get DRS on me along the Kemmel Straight. I'm going to be a sitting duck here. I'm going to try and keep him moving across the track. He's going to have to go up my inside. I'm going to have to brake later than him. Can I keep the position? Going to try and leave a little bit of space, but I can't quite leave enough, and he's not quite close enough anyway. And I'm going to have to keep defending my position right now, because he is so close. I'm going to have to try not to make any mistakes, and I've just made one locking up there into this hairpin corner. I've been able to defend my position though. Rosberg sets the fastest lap now. I presume that's at the end of his lap 10. And my engineer updating me on that there. They're really distracting sometimes when trying to do commentary, and I'm cutting the corners slightly there. Not really very good, trying to get away, making mistakes. All left, right and centre on these slightly worn out soft tyres, well, very worn out soft tyres, and he's forced his way up the inside, and that means I'm down in P2, so I'm going to have to really focus now and try and get back up and gain some time again on him. It's going to look like it's either slipstream up towards Blanchemont or either a late braking move into the bus stop chicane, because I don't think there's enough DRS on the pit straight to actually make a move on him up there, so I'm going to have to try and gain as much as I can on this straight with the Mercedes horsepower, the advantage I have over the Renault horsepower. I'm going to try and do a late braking move into the bus stop chicane. It doesn't look like I'm close enough. No, gaining right on his gearbox through the bus stop chicane, and I'm going to get DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and Bottas now is quite close behind, but it looks like I'm going to have to settle for P2, so same position that I started in, but still a pretty amazing race here in the Force India. Another podium for me after the win in Canada. This another podium. Really good stuff from Force India.
And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And I can see now the drivers are making their way out. We need Red Bull fighting at the front. They do an incredible amount for Formula One, and that's another winner's trophy heading back to Milton Keynes. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table.
And so here we have the results of the race. You can see Lewis Hamilton made it back up into P4, so good for him. And then Nico Rosberg was fairly far down the field. Sebastian Vettel and Jolyon Palmer are the only two DNFs. And you can see my teammate finished in P5 in the end. So very good points finish for Force India. And it puts me ahead up into P4 in the drivers, ahead of Sebastian Vettel now. So really going well. And we're also ahead of Max Verstappen, which is good for me. I'm really enjoying this career mode at the moment. P4 in the Constructors, which is a good position to be in, same as real life in 2016 and 2017 for Force India. So really well up there, and very realistic performance from the team at the moment. Resource points, we're not going to have enough for another upgrade, I don't think, but we are going to have a few more to work towards more upgrades. Probably the I think chassis weight was the one I didn't do, so probably that would be the next one. Rivalry update, I'm going to be ahead of Sebastian Vettel after his DNF, and so we've got to get our driver position. It's not going to change because I'm as high as it can be, which is good to be. And career score, there we go. So thanks for watching this episode. I would just like to say that before F1 2017 comes out, I plan to finish this career mode. There's 8 weeks left and 8 races left, so it does mean that I'm going to be able to finish this career mode before the start of F1 2017. I am thinking of doing possibly an online career mode. I don't know, it might be a shorter calendar, but I'll update you on that, and you might see that, you might not. So thank you for watching. I am going to finish this before F1 2017 comes out over the summer. I'm going to aim to do at least one of these a week, because it's 8 weeks until the start of F1 2017, just before that comes out. So I'm going to try and get those 8 videos out, and I will see you next time. Bye.